So let's work. I've got comedian Seyi Law here.
Thank you, Daddy Freeze.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, prayer.
Team leader, Peter Obi supporters group, Clash of the Supporters. Guys, please go to Facebook and buy my stars. Go to Facebook, search for Daddy Freeze, DADDYFREEZE, and buy my stars. So, Seyi Law, what is your question?
First, I needed to ask Priye, why hasn't Peter Obi been clear enough on the stance on IPOB?
Okay. The IPOB stance, he has been clear. He has said it over and over that agitations around the country, not just one region, because we know that the Southeast is not the only place where we have agitations. Every agitation around the country will be dealt with decisively. The criminal elements will be dealt with decisively. Those who are agitating for either separation or something, he will sit down and have conversations with them. Sometimes they need enlightenment, sometimes they need empowerment to be taken off the streets. But guess what? The agitations are not only happening in the Southeast. Peter Obi has also made it clear that he's a Nigerian first before a regional candidate. So, of course, he has addressed it holistically and not just, mentioning IPOB. He has mentioned IPOB, Oduduwa, everybody in his different addresses. So no, it's not being specific simply because it's from the Southeast, then he must only address the agitation in the Southeast. No, you address it holistically because Nigeria has people in different regions. All I would say the three parts of Nigeria, West, East, and up north, agitating for different purposes. So he has said they'll be dealt with decisively, and where enlightenment, negotiation, and all of that needs to be done, he would also do that. But the criminal elements will be dealt with decisively. So no, it's not Peter Obi is not a regional candidate. He has made his stance known over and over again that he's a Nigerian first before any other thing.
I bet to disagree. From even his tweets on the agitation, which I have read, I have seen several times that he mentioned every other. He talks about Boko Haram. He mentioned Boko Haram by name. He talks about the bandits, but when it comes to IPOB and the unknown gunmen, he keeps saying agitators.
No.
And for me,
he has mentioned IPOB. In fact, at the town hall, he mentioned IPOB specifically when he was addressing the agitation. So no, it's not only no, that's wrong. I beg to disagree because I'm an ardent follower. I don't just see his tweets. I follow everything he has been doing on the campaign trail, and he hasn't singled them out and put them aside. He has made it clear that there will be no difference whether you're from the east, west, north, or south. Once there's criminality to it, you'll be dealt with decisively. So no, he has not avoided the IPOB question. Instead, he answers the question holistically. He doesn't single out one region. So that's not true. I don't know. I know you have a busy schedule, but if you can look up some videos on TV, you will see that he has actually addressed the IPOB issue and every other agitation as well. The Chatham interview, thank you. He mentioned it there.
Okay, that is okay. Another thing is that Peter Obi was on TV condemning the not too young to run at some point. The video is online. Yes, the video is online. It was circulating yesterday online on Twitter. And right now, the same Peter Obi is clamoring for the youth running on the basis of being the youngest candidate.
That's
for
not
me
the basis he's running on. In fact, one of the videos that came out, he said, age is not the only determinant when you are trying to choose a leader. It's not the only determinant. But if someone is aged and his health is failing, then we have to question his mental capacity.
No,
age is not the only determinant.
Yourself,
I'm not saying it by myself. I have video evidence.
This is you talking.
No,
not
I
Peter
have
Obi.
video evidence. He did mention it alongside, I think that was on the same interview with him, when he did state that the age is not the issue, but the mental capacity due to age that is the issue. And he's not running saying I'm the youngest, but he's also saying that you don't have to be old and literally die a politician. We should normalize retirement. You don't have the mental capacity for decision making, step aside. That's the opinion. But he's not saying that, oh, I'm the youngest, therefore vote for me. He has used other factors: competence, capacity, accountability, openness, integrity, so many other aspects to it. Because if you have a young person and the person doesn't have the capacity, then we're still, going to get it wrong. So it's not only age he's riding on. He's riding on so many other things. The ability to identify issues and also tackle them accordingly. Where you cannot make decisions, you bring on subject matter experts to that particular scenario or issue. But no, he's not riding on only that. His age is not. In fact, his age has nothing to do with it, because we know politicians well in their 60s who are very corrupt, very, very questionable character, people who lack integrity and who lack management skills. So apart from corruption, we're talking about competence and capacity, the right education, being able to form the right principles and policies that will benefit people across the board, not just a few select group of people, but every single Nigerian, where every Nigerian matters, not just age. Age is not the only thing.
Thank you. And also, you spoke about Peter Obi's investment of Anambra's funds in the Bureau.
Yeah.
And I must state clearly that his family also had vested interest in that Bureau through the company Nest.
Okay, so you stated it. Is there any question?
And then when you were answering the question the other time, you mentioned about Tinubu's Lagos State investment in Econet.
No, someone put the comment there and said Tinubu invested in Econet on behalf of Lagos State. So I was trying to point out that governors investing in companies, either foreign companies coming to do business or local companies that need expansion, government doing that is not news. It's not only with Peter Obi, all governors do it. And I made an example to the Econet comment where the person said Tinubu also invested in Econet on behalf of Lagos State.
Yes, if Tinubu invested in Econet on behalf of Lagos State, does he also have family interest?
I'm sure
Econet?
he would probably have shares. If we look
it
up,
say,
I cannot conclude.
Sure
I don't want to conclude on it, but
exactly.
I'm very sure.
That conclusion
Tinubu
will be very wrong if it doesn't
Tinubu
have
hardly
family
does
interest
anything without personal interest involved. I'm sorry to say.
Because Peter Obi, it is a known fact that Next are part of the shareholders of the Bureau. They have shares in the Bureau, which makes that
Peter Obi was no longer
funds.
the CEO of Next at the time
it's a
of
family business. It's a
no,
family
he was
business
no longer. His brother took it over. He handed
his
over
brother
every
his brother, his father that started the company, his family, his brother.
He was
his
not
family. So don't let us try to.
I think the rule is that you should not hold those positions. You shouldn't be CEO, director, or anything of any company. So he was not the CEO and the decision maker for Next at the time. His brother and other shareholders and members of the board took over the company. He relinquished all those things during the time he served as governor. So I don't think that you say, okay, his family. So no, it was probably Next was already in existence before Peter Obi became governor. You don't expect the family to completely sell Next simply because Peter Obi became a governor. What matters is what Peter does as Peter.
No, you cannot separate Peter Obi from his family. Let us get that clear.
Yeah, his
don't let us
family
try to
wasn't doing
it with.
I'm not
yes,
sure
I can see now.
His
Now
immediate family
earlier on that the freeze when somebody mentioned Peter Obi supporters, the Obidients supporters as being angry, attacking people. You can see from the comment, I've just asking questions and they already, you know, putting shame on you, this one and that. I said clearly.
Well, what makes you think it's only Obi supporters? There are people supporting Showore.
Because my question
that's an assumption, sir. Because there are Atiku supporters here, Showore supporters here. Everybody watches the live.
So Peter Obi and me, I don't care what anybody says. Really, I'm just supposed to ask questions. I'm not supposed to state my opinion about who I'm supporting. Yeah. But I'll say it, and I don't care what anybody thinks. Prior to 1999, prior to democracy in 1999, I lived in Lagos. And
I grew up in
democracy
Lagos
came in 1999, from the growth that I witnessed under Bola Tinubu in Lagos State is one of the reasons why I, as a person, would vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
But that's your stance, and you're allowed to have your own stance.
Exactly.
Nobody is disputing that.
If we are discussing
your right
issue
as a Nigerian,
and everybody is raising their opinion, I don't see why the person should be attacked based on their choice. Democracy is about,
but APC supporters attacked too. APC supporters attacked too. I've gotten attacks from APC supporters, people telling me they will find me in the corner. So that's what I'm saying. That's a selfish narrative from the APC because everybody is experiencing it. We get hit a lot. My husband is in this household. He can testify to the type of threats that I have received simply because of my stance, and also all the ethnic insults that come with it, despite the fact that I'm not of Igbo origin. As a matter of fact, my mother is from North Central. She's Steve, but I get all the ethnic attacks, the IPOB and the everything. So no, sir, that's a wrong narrative because it's a combined thing. So the conversation should be around how all of us as Nigerians can do better, control ourselves without attacking people for their choice. I won't lie, I'm learning, I'm a work in progress. I've gotten attacked a lot, only for people to turn around and say, why did you respond to the attack? No, you don't attack people and then complain about their responses. So it's the same thing, and it's not a one-sided thing. My team and I have experienced so many things, including all kinds of insults on all social media platforms. So it's not, the narrative now should be, how do we have peaceful elections across the board without stepping on each other's toes and being more tolerant? Like I said, I'm a work in progress, but it does not mean that it's a one-sided thing. Thank you.
All right, Sheikh, more questions because we're rounding off and I need to bring those two other guys back.
Well, for me, basically, I believe the interests of Nigeria should supersede any other things that we're talking about. And I believe that people probably have their reasons for supporting who they want to support. For me, like I said earlier, I can start naming some of the things that I saw change when Tinubu became the governor of Lagos State. A lot of people talk about health today. We talk about a cleaner Lagos today. We saw the transformation that happened in Oshodi when Tinubu became governor of Lagos State. In Lagos today, if they take last man out of the road of Lagos, we know the chaos that will happen in this Lagos alone. We know the chaos that will happen in this Lagos
But
alone.
his mental capacity has been brought into question. He might have performed then, but now, due to age, he might not be able to have that capacity to make serious decisions.
I love
and
when
we're talking about 36 other states. There are 35 other states apart from Lagos. You know, the scope is much bigger.
You mentioned is mental capacity. Today, everybody is clamoring based on what Obasanjo wrote on Obasanjo's letter in support of Peter Obi. And I remember that this same Obasanjo in 2007, when he was going to campaign for Yar'Adua to become the president of this nation, at some point, Yar'Adua was in faraway Germany, unable to go to campaign as much as Tinubu has done.
Narrative
hold on, please. Can I just finish? Can I just finish that? Unable to go to campaign that as much as Tinubu has done. And this same Obasanjo on campaign ground, pick up phone to call Yaradua. Umaru, they say you are dead. Umaru, are you dead? This same Obasanjo that is supporting Peter Obi today. Many other people made so much noise about
APC was happy at his support in 2015. What changed? Suddenly his opinion. APC was happy at Obasanjo's support in 2015. What changed?
Obasanjo did not come out outrightly to support APC.
There are videos and pictures. He did.
No.
He did.
Obasanjo did not come out outrightly to support APC in 2016.
Can you see me?
Obasanjo actually wrote a letter to Goodluck Jonathan. And mind you, in 2015, I was not a supporter of APC. I never supported Buhari to become president of Nigeria. Neither did I vote for Buhari to become president of Nigeria. And yet there were several people in this nation who made so much clamor for Buhari to become president of Nigeria.
I was one of them anyways.
I'm not a Buhari fan, but for Tinubu, I'm a Tinubu fan. And I don't deny that.
So like I said, the scope is much bigger. There are 35 other states and the Federal Capital Territory, plus his declined mental capacity. We're not going to discard his performance in Lagos.
No state in Nigeria that is as diversified as Lagos State. There is no state in Nigeria. When it comes to diversity, there is no state in Nigeria that is as diversified as Lagos State.
We're talking about the economy of Nigeria,
cannot be understated.
We're not understating it, but Nigeria is a bigger scope than just Lagos.
Can you see me, sir? Can you see me?
Yes, sir.
You can see me.
Can see
okay.
You
can see me. Okay, thank you. Daddy Freeze, to make this thing very fair, I want you respectfully to bring on the toughest and the harshest Obi critique on this live. The same way that Seyi Law is drilling or is asking prayer questions, I want you to bring that person on. I will not even, you see, I did not say anything about what's going on here. Bring that person so it to be fair.
You know,
if it's prayer I want to you can bring anybody.
Sadly, I'm exhausted. So at this point,
Daddy Freeze did not ask me question. No, Daddy Freeze did not ask me question. I was waiting for that.
Mr. Seyi Law, he's a Tinubu supporter. Maybe you can also answer your question since you're on the same team.
Listen.
No, I did not tackle Priye. Nobody should say 2-on-1. I did not accept tackle Priye.
No, I'm saying he should ask you questions. You guys are on the same thing.
Answering the comment section. I'm not doing 2 versus 1
hours. There is no way we're going to get to the end of this. So we have to continue this session next week. Right now, I want you guys to have your 1 minute, and I'm bringing Musti back.
Okay, Musti.
Next week, we're going to have a Peter Obi supporter go against Bongoli. He has requested for it, and time slot to be arranged, just like it was for today. If Musti also wants, Musti is also going to have that same privilege. But right now, we need to say thank you to Seyi. We appreciate you. We appreciate your question. We're not rude to anyone. Didn't like the way some people are attacking you in the comment section. I don't like that. I like people to be able to air their views. You don't need to support the candidate I like. You just need to not be violent. If she was rude, for instance, I'll say, okay, he was rude. He was actually quite polite. He raised issues. And I like the dialogue he had with Priye. It was quite mature. Seyi brought something to the table, and Priye also brought something to the table. And as far as I'm concerned, more than any candidate winning, I want a peaceful election. For me, that is my priority. Your priority may differ. My priority is a peaceful election. Thank you so much, Seyi Law.
Thank you for having me. Sorry, that is before I go. Somebody said something that when was Atiku the Senate president? You know, sometimes somebody said something and then they're trying to misconstrue it. He said Atiku is a selling president, and it is not lie that there are companies in this country that were built for 2.5 billion naira that the committee that was supervised by Atiku sold for $215 million. So if he had made that statement, he is absolutely correct that he's a selling president. When it comes to selling, Atiku is the president. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And God bless you. Thank you, Seyi. So let me bring on Musti back. So, Priye, your 1 minute, over to you.
Okay, so it's apparent now that we all have different political views and we see things differently. But what matters is the birth of a new Nigeria. Nigeria currently is at crossroads, and we're all doing our best to figure out what the best path to take is. Currently, we have over 20 million children out of school. We have over 130 million Nigerians living below the poverty line. We have so many problems: joblessness, insecurity. We have our university students constantly going on strike. How do we fix the system? Those are the questions we need to ask. I know we're all angry. I am very angry myself. I'm not going to remove myself when I say we are all angry Nigerians, just to address the commentators here. I'm also amongst the angry Nigerians. I'm not removing myself. But what is important now is that we take proper plans, and not just plans. We have to implement them, implementation. And how can we implement? Our institutions have to be stronger. They have to work for us. The system has to work for us so that we can build. So the only candidates that's currently addressing those issues are not on a slander panda constantly without any explanation of their manifesto is Peter Obi. We all know this. We've seen the multiple videos. I am glad that the conversation around Peter Obi continues to revolve around investment, building infrastructure and investment. That is a good way to start, and we can build off of that platform. So please support the Obi Dati candidacy. Go out and pick up your PVC, enlighten those around you. Make sure we have a peaceful election, and God bless.
Thank you very much. All right, over to you, Musti. Your 1 minute sign off.
I don't know what to say again because I'm off with the hero on the show, and with the questions and everything. It just threw everything off. Because to be honest, I don't think that was to have two APC people on the same program at the same time. I think that was not right. No, Bangoli, let me finish. I know what I'm saying. You understand? But that was already, I think you should have, if Sheila was an APC guy, there should be a PDP guy or an OB guy, then let's have a discussion. You know what I'm saying? But I want to say that, so it made me a little bit sleepy, and I was like, I don't know, sorry, I might not be able to give a good closing statement tonight. I think we should do that tomorrow, maybe some other time. We have 3 more weeks to go, so we have 2 more other debates. I only want to say something: unify Nigeria. We get to unify ourselves first before we can even govern. You don't unify ourselves, we can govern. The most important thing is to make sure that we come together as Nigerians. We say, we'll put our differences aside. How do we move forward? How do we come together and say, let's sit down at the table and have a dialogue? Anyways, thank you so much, Daddy Chris, for having me tonight. I'm a little bit very tired. I'm a little bit sleepy. And thank you, everybody, for watching us tonight. God bless you, and vote Atiku for 2023.
Yeah.
All right. Just to quickly address what you raised, Musti, there was no point where Seyi and Bongo Lee were talking about Tinubu at the same time. The only request Bongo Lee made was that we brought a Peter Obi supporter to have a one-on-one with him. So it wasn't like there were 2 APCs against Priye at any point. Bongo Lee did not make any contribution, if I remember clearly, into the debate. Somebody says, whatever your name is, he has to be like lizard we never see food chop. You say Daddy Freeze, you fall your hand completely. I have been as neutral as possible. Seyi cannot come to my page and you bash him, and I appreciate you for bashing him when it's not that you are a lunatic like your parents have raised you. Listen, the fact that your parents are working is because your family cannot afford asylum fees. Your parents should be sectioned, and you should be sectioned along with them. In fact, you have been born in an asylum with a Digbolugioshi. So, before I block you, I want to address you. I appreciate Priye. She was civil. She was together. She spoke very well. And when she was done with Seyi, I appreciated both of them. Seyi is a celebrity. I have to respect a celebrity who has his own platform to come to my own platform to come and have a conversation. And Seyi was respectful. So was Priye. Priye was even more respectful, more so than even Seyi was. She addressed all his questions respectfully. So for you to dare come to my page with an unpronounceable name, coming representing a person with a hollow head that can serve nothing better than being used as a gas cylinder where cooking gas can be because there's no space for a brain inside that cranial cavity. And you dare come and tell me that Daddy Free is a low-key Tinubu supporter, just like your parents are not low-key mad people. In fact, they are raving mad people. You will enter the bush and be lost as a result of Luna. If I ever see you on my page again, you will never make anything out of your life. How dare you say I'm a low-key Tinubu supporter? Why are you not saying low-key supporter? Simply because I appreciated Seyi for coming to my page, and I said Bongoli too is going to get the same treatment next week. Priya, did I lie?
No.
Some of you people are putting P2B supporters in a bad light. I have P2B supporters on my page. I appreciate them. They come live every day, every week during the Clash of the Supporters, and most of the time they're well behaved. Once in a while, we have to with all party supporters. But for you to come to my page and tell me that that I am a low-key Tinubu supporter, at least in this particular incident, it shows that you are nothing but the spawn of two mad people who should never have been allowed to procreate. Don't ever let me see you on my page again. So, finally, Bongoli, over to you as your
Daddy Freeze, I want to say something also. I just want equity, justice, and fairness. Let the person you are going to bring, maybe next week or 2 weeks, and let that person be a celebrity also. So that is a star Peter Obi supporter, a celebrity also. And tell that person that you are coming to come and challenge Bongoli. So mind what you say, because Bongoli will check you. Mind what you say, Bongoli will check you. Now, let me now round up by saying this. Guys, Peter Obi is our #1 supporter because a vote for Peter Obi is a vote for Asiwaju. So I want to use this opportunity to thank you also very much for doing the Lord's work for us. We love you. We appreciate you. This is from APC to Labour Party. Thank you. Now, Nigeria is in a growing phase as we speak. The IMF said that this coming year, 2023, 1/3 countries in the world are going to go into an economic recession. Now, we need somebody that is going to go and get the remaining investments out there. We need someone that's going to go and get that money out there. We need somebody that says he's going to compete with Russia in the sale of natural gas. We need somebody that is going to bring natural gas plants here so that I can create jobs for you and I. We need somebody that is going to turn the fortunes of Nigerians around. And that person is no other than Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. It is not I will do. Asiwaju is I have done. You don't want to bring somebody that is what Yorubas call akotileta. Akotileta meaning you carry the property in your house and be selling. You don't want such a person that says corruption is nothing new when accused. Also, you don't want to bring a person that all he says, he speaks idealistically and he's always talking about China, Singapore, Indonesia, Pakistan, and he did little to nothing in the state that he governed.
That's wrong.
Facts and indices says that he was one of the worst performing governors, and it's a fact.
Not
it's
true.
not me that put it here.
That's
even
not true.
Soludo
Sell
and
your
Obiano,
candidates.
the governors that came after him, said he did rubbish and nonsense.
Sell your
In fact,
candidates.
somebody reached out to Soludo and said, please, the roads that Peter Obi did are already waning out. That they want the kind of roads that Chris Ngige did, Dr. Chris Ngige. And where is Dr. Chris Ngige? He's in the APC party.
Okay, sell your candidates.
Do things for yourself. If you want Nigeria to get to the next level, vote for Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. Don't vote for someone that will come and sell our assets. And don't vote for Obi that doesn't know anything. Obi is only talk. He doesn't know anything. That's my case. Thank you.
Did Asiwaju say Senate president or Senate president? Tell Nigerians now to their face. Did he say Senate? I wish I was on that night with Seyi. I wanted to ask Seyi. Did he say Senate or Senate?
Bala Blue will be your president and nothing can do about it. He will stand in UN, in UN in New York and say Bala Blue. Bala Blue be your president and there's nothing can do about it.